Welcome to Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged, the podcast where we take you on a journey through the rapidly evolving landscape of technology and business. In each episode, we'll explore the latest trends and insights from experts in various fields, covering topics ranging from data analytics and AI to entrepreneurship and innovation. Our guests are leaders and visionaries who share their experiences and knowledge, providing you with valuable insights into the challenges and opportunities of today's world. Whether you are an entrepreneur, a business leader, or simply interested in future technology, you will find something to inspire and inform you on Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged. So tune in and join us on this exciting journey of exploration and discovery. I am your host, Aarti Devi Deshpande. In today's episode, we are thrilled to have Ramesh Seshadri, Executive Vice President of our data science team, joining us. Ramesh is a seasoned finance professional with extensive experience in business and credit analysis. He'll be sharing his expertise in building process efficiency. Ramesh will provide valuable insights on how businesses can streamline their operations to enhance productivity and profitability. Welcome, Ramesh. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Aarti Devi, for the warm welcome. I feel it's a great opportunity for us to have such a podcast session where we get to come up and discuss some of the problems facing businesses today and collaboratively make an effort to solve a few of these problems.
So let's begin the session, Ramesh, by understanding your role at
Yes, Aarti. So my role at DPA involves working with clients in the credit domain. I have worked with rating agencies in India and some traditional bank lenders in India and also in some developed markets. Traditionally, DPA has been a data analytics firm which has been servicing clients in the hedge fund, mutual fund, and private equity space, among others, where large volumes of data are being processed. Now, I have been associated with DPA in a full-time basis since July 2022 with the specific objective of leveraging my credit domain expertise and offering solutions to clients who are in the structured lending business or those that offer high volume loans as per specific US federal government guaranteed programs.
So, Ramesh, now that we have clarity of your role at DPA, we understand that you are dealing with many offshore clients. What are the main trends that you are witnessing in the US in credit domain?
Uh, at a very global level, the most important event since 2020 in our lives has been the COVID pandemic. Globally, it has had an adverse impact on many businesses, particularly in the small and medium business space. The US government has come up with a structured program of assistance under the CARES Act of 2020, that is the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. And this is specifically aimed at US businesses which have been impacted due to the lockdown or due to regulatory restrictions or a move towards work from home. Right? For many business segments, I think the work from home has been a dominant influence in our lives. The structured assistance is available to a few hundreds of thousands of businesses in the US as either an employee retention credit or as a SBA loan, a small business administration loan. And hence, many non-banking companies have been provided a license to lend money to such businesses within certain overall constraints placed by the US federal government. The constraints could be by way of sector, size, the tenor of the loan, or the interest rate that is chargeable. And typically, this gets reimbursed by the US government, or else it could, the other structure that is prevalent is that the loan gets structured as a US, as a federal government guaranteed loan. And this guarantee is available for a large percentage of the loan amount. Typically, it is 75% in case of a default or a bankruptcy of the borrower. So there has been a lot of such trends that we see in the overseas market, particularly in the US market.
Okay, Ramesh, if you could just tell us more about how Decimal Point Analytics help its offshore clients.
So Decimal Point Analytics is, of course, a very large organization. I think we have about 800 plus employees today, and we have been working with offshore clients in many areas. I will, of course, restrict myself only to the credit domain part of it. So many of our offshore clients did not anticipate the large volume of loan applications that that they have seen from struggling businesses, either under the ERC, that is the Employee Retention Credit, or the Small Business Administration Loan Program. So what Decimal Point Analytics is doing is that we have offered to set up a completely technology-enabled, seamless workflow process for clients to manage this huge volume of applications, or else manage certain parts of the loan application process. So the decision is entirely left to the client as to what they want DPA to be associated with, but we do have capabilities on an end-to-end basis. So at our end here, DPA has a dedicated team of technology professionals who can develop an online platform to manage the data flows in a very secure environment with multiple access rights defined, right? So you can shield certain parts of the data from the team, the Decimal Points team that is sitting in India, or else you can therefore sort of structure the entire data flow mechanism and the data flow, the servers to be available to certain people who are given access rights, or to those others who have not been provided these access rights. And the client defines all these access rights. And Decimal Point also has a team of credit professionals who can be trained quickly by the client team to understand their internal credit underwriting requirements and manage the process of writing up credit memos, should they so require, by collating information on the underlying business of the borrower and the credit data of the borrower in a time-bound manner. Right. So typically what we tell our clients is the first time training is something that you have to do. After that, the entire responsibility of training the new analysts who would come onto the team and managing the attrition within the team, that is our lookout. We will manage that for you so that one, you get a consistently good quality, a high quality of output. And we are also willing to be bound by SLAs so that we adhere to strict turnaround time requirements in what is essentially a very, very highly competitive market.
Okay, and Ramesh, how does the engagement process work between DPA and its offshore client?
So the offshore client typically identifies a team size of DPA credit professionals that they need to work with, as well as they will specify the nature of technology support that they require. Right. So the size of the team that they need to work with will, of course, depend on the loan application volumes that they are expecting in future or what they already are grappling with. The technology team can get started on configuring the workflows as well as defining the nature of system infrastructure and accesses that are required by the offshore credit team and how the data would flow to the credit team. So it could either directly flow from the client servers or it could flow through third-party sources. Once the credit workflow system is set up and tested to meet client requirements, the credit system has access to a fully functional workflow process at the backend. And while the system is being set up in the interest of efficiency, it is entirely possible that the credit team can get started or can get trained initially as per the client requirements on all aspects of the credit underwriting process, and then they can start work on the existing client system while a new workflow is being configured by the technology team. So this will ensure that a smooth transition from the existing system to the higher new workflow process is achieved. And then the credit analysts, of course, have the benefit of working on the existing platform for some time till they transition to the new system. And typically in this, DPA takes on the responsibility of managing the training for all the existing and new analysts on an ongoing basis, while the first time training typically happens from the client end. So the client needs to be very clear on what are the objectives that they're trying to achieve, and how would they like the analyst team based in India to function so that it's a very seamless process. And of course, DPA also manages the attrition in the team thereafter. So once the team is set up and running, the responsibility for managing attrition within the team is also that of the Decimal Point team. And typically, we also set up a knowledge management mechanism so that all existing processes can be effectively documented and disseminated. A video recording of all the training sessions are also available, and this is typically managed by the Decimal Point team. Scaling up the team thereafter also becomes very easy under this mechanism because the existing team of analysts and the managers can then get started on training the new team of analysts, right, who come into the process as a part of any such scale up. So credit analysts in India can work on a shift timings which are geared to overlap with the offshore clients' office timings. And therefore, you also have a mechanism for a face-to-face conversation with your counterpart on the other side, rather than the message possibly getting lost if it is all done through email communication only. So that we find has been a very effective process for managing the communication between teams. And of course, ultimately, since we are going to be bound by SLAs, a very effective MIS can be set up with periodic reporting to the client, to the offshore client, so that you have full visibility on the overall productivity of the team.
So in this, Ramesh, what kind of flexibility is available to the clients during this process?
Entirely, 100% flexibility is available to the clients because they will define what kind of engagement they want. What is going to be the size of the team? What is the kind of technology support they require, if at all they require anything? And everything that we will do here at DPA will be based on the client's comfort, on whether they want to try out our team for only credit memo writing, or whether they want to go the whole hog and spend efforts in developing a credit workflow system, right? So it's a function of their long-term view of the business and what kind of loan application volumes they are expecting as a part of this process. And any such long-term strategic decision that they take will certainly pay off in the long run. And at DPA, we believe that the client has nothing to lose by trying out any such arrangement. If it works, then we go ahead and we can scale up the business as well in a very short period of time. And if it does not, then the agreement gets terminated and we go our separate ways. So it's a win-win as far as the client is concerned.
Okay, Ramesh, thank you so much. So I guess that's a wrap up for today's episode of Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged. Thank you, Ramesh, for sharing your views and valuable insights on how businesses can enhance productivity and profitability through process efficiency. If you are interested in hearing more about data analytics, AI, and ML for business and sustainability, be sure to stay tuned to Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged for future episodes. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform and share this episode with your colleagues and friends. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged.